Governor was an advocate for the maintenance of the constitution of our country. He was a constitutional defender. So if I could contribute to this funeral proceeding by itching this line, if there is any one or two words that we want to remember Governor Wenge for, something that I cannot go past is his total commitment to the defense of our country's constitution. I would describe him as our country's constitutional defender. And lest we forget, for those who are living now as a nation, progressing beyond 50 years of nationhood, we must live in the same manner that the late Governor has taught us. In Parliament, he served in many capacities. The last one that he willingly took was the leadership of the Governor's Council. And I want to say, as I conclude my conversation in respect to this great man, many things have been said already. I cannot go past the words of his son, Matthew, or his colleague, the Honorable Rebbe Pato, or in fact, Senior Counsel Sumasi Singh. They have said everything proper that needs to be said on this great man. And I want to say that in Parliament, he contributed a lot. This current Parliament, he holds record as the most outspoken leader in this current Parliament. And we will certainly miss it. Today we have a huge turnout, members of Parliament on both sides, former Prime Minister, the opposition leader, and of course Deputy Prime Minister myself. That is the type of man the senior citizen is. He was a leader that had attracted other leaders, and we will certainly miss him. In Parliament, many committees he chaired, was part of many parliamentary committees since 1997 up till his passing. I note his great advocacy for autonomy and the empowerment of governments closest to our people. As he did advocate for Hela Province, I want to register on behalf of my family, Rachel, the children, and the Governor Diallo, and the greater people of Hela, our thankfulness and his strong advocacy in his belief that power must be shared and people must have presence of localized leadership. He advocated for Hela and Chiwaka, just like lately he's been advocating for Bougainville, and we shall never forget. I want to say that 4 issues that comes to my mind in some of the work that we're starting to the people of Morobe. The Wafi-Golpu Project will be his legacy, his handprint, footprint, and his blueprint is written all over the agreement that we will very soon conclude, in which greater share, not less than 10% of the total earning of the project will come back to the Morobe people, including the landowners. I want to say that he, under his watch, in his earlier time, he did tick off Hidden Valley when he was governor in his earlier terms as governor of Morobe, and lately, I want to commend Minister for Mining, son of Morobe himself, the Honorable Rainbow Paita. We have restored the extension of Hidden Valley license, and Hidden Valley continues on. I want to say he was a strong advocate of a special government structure for Morobe. Last time I was in Morobe, he did present to me a special submission on Morobe that embraced autonomy, but in a special federated arrangement state. And that concept is being run through the system as I speak, and we will not abandon something that is befitting of the biggest province we have in the country, that is the headquarters of our country's economy. I want to also say that he was working on relocating Tutuman to Najab as a center piece of holding Morobe together, and that work is still running as we speak. National government has partnered this province in some of the planning aspects. That project, or that transfer of Tutuman as the seat of government of Morobe to Najab will not be abandoned as we work on the Najab city concept the Deputy Prime Minister is leading. May God bless this defender of our country's constitution as he rests, and to the children, I want to, and the immediate family, I want to say thank you very much for lending this land to the service of this country. Some of us who have been in this profession knows very well how the children are affected as parents or fathers, in this instance, serve in public offices. To meet you and all the children, my heart and thoughts are with you all. In one of the last engagements I had with him in Parliament, he brought one of his sons. He brought one of his sons to me and said, Mr. Prime Minister, this son was conceived as I stood to fight for Hela province. I had a woman has given me this son, and that son was presented to me. Young Hela, thank you very much. I don't know for what reason. Usually, this sort of thing doesn't happen. And he brought that son to me and introduced that son in the Parliament precinct. And so I want to say, for me personally, a patriot, a big brother, someone very close to me since 1997 has passed on. I want to conclude by reading the words of Ecclesiastes chapter 12 as a poem, and comfort for this occasion. To every one of you, especially the children of Governor Wenge, this is for you. Remember your Creator in the days of your youth. Before the days of trouble come, the years approach when you will say, I have no pleasure in them. Before the sun and the light and the moon and the stars grow dark, the clouds return after the rain, when the keepers of the house tremble, the strong men stoop, and when the grinders cease, because they are few, and those looking through the windows grow dim, when the doors on the street are closed, when the sound of the grinding fades, when people rise up to the sound of the bells, but all their songs grow faint, when people are afraid of heights, when the dangers in the streets, when the almond trees blossom, the grasshopper drags itself along, the desire no longer is steered, then people go to the eternal home, and mourners go through about the streets. It says people go to the eternal home. Our leader has found his eternal home. Remember him before the silver cord is severed, and the golden bowl is broken, before the pitcher is set at the spring, and the wheel broken at the well, and the dust returns to the ground it came from, and the spirit returns to God who gave it. Governor Wenge's spirit has gone back to God who gave it, as his body goes to earth from which he was conceived from. He is gone, but his spirit lives on as we work through in honoring him in the ideals, values, and projects that he stood for, and with full commitment of this Pangu administration. He was part of us in his passing. The 4 or 5 key issues outstanding as far as the work in progress we're doing will be fully delivered to honor the legacy and the spirit of this great man. Thank you very much for all listening. May God rest you in eternal peace.